Welcome to another edition of Through the Fire and the SBN Small Business Network podcast. I am your host, Ryan Wickline. Today, I'm want to discuss something with a question I'm often asked, and that's how do you stay motivated? Well, I'm here to tell you that most days you're not going to feel motivated to do something. You just have to be disciplined, and discipline will take you so much further than motivation ever will. So most people will tell you consistency over intensity, which I kind of agree with. You have to be consistent with all your actions and start out small if you need to. And that over intensity. But the way I found to have the most success is to be consistent with intensity. You have to have a purpose behind everything you're doing. So what I mean is, I'm going to start out small, and I'm going to build out an action plan of things I need to get done. Well, me being a coach and working with athletes, I understand something a little bit different than most people. That if you want to catch people that are ahead of you, you better do the extras too. Because if you're just doing the bare minimum, you will never catch the people that are ahead of you, ever. You have to, because they're already ahead of you, right? So what you have to do, you got to add a little extra, and keep adding that extra on each week. And you have a purpose behind everything you're doing. So I work with a coach myself right now too, to help hold me accountable and to make sure I'm doing what I need to do and everything. Because I'm a John Maxwell guy, and he always said that, hey, if you want to coach people, you better get coached yourself to have somebody hold you accountable too. And it'll make sure you're growing along the process too. So I have to be consistent and disciplined myself in everything I do. And he holds me accountable to make sure I get everything done. Just like I do the kids I work with and the people I work with, I'm held accountable to help them. And I hold them accountable to make sure they're getting everything done. So what I mean when I'll say consistency and intensity, I want you to start out small. I'm going to build an action plan. Okay, so if I want to accomplish this certain goal, what are the things that I need to do to go accomplish this? And me being a sports guy, it'll be easier for me to explain this through a sports way. So say I want to go be a champion. Go in any sport. I want to be a state champion, NCAA champ, anything like that. So I'm going to help these people build on an action plan of, hey, we got to be lifting this many times a week. I got to be practicing this many times a week. We got to be doing cardio conditioning, all this stuff. Work on our mindset, stretching, recovery, rest, everything. So I'm going to have them do how many times they're going to do these workouts each week. And we're going to hold ourselves accountable. So there's a consistency week in, week out. I am just focusing on this, and I'm going to be consistent with it. And I have to be disciplined, because a lot of days you're not going to feel motivated to do it. That's just how things are. I'm not motivated to do things half the time, but I just keep showing up. And that's what I try to get through to them. We just keep showing up, even though we don't see anything. And we have to be disciplined throughout this. I can tell you countless stories of kids that I've worked with where they didn't see any progress of working the entire off season. Seen a little bit of progress here and there. They didn't accomplish what they wanted to. And they were kind of like, man, I put all this work in for these 5-6 months to go into the season and be like, oh man, I accomplished a little bit. I feel like I got better, but I didn't accomplish what I wanted to. Well, guess what? By the time they got to that season and they started wrestling or bowling or whatever sport it is, the kids I work with, guess what? As soon as the season started, they seen all the progress they made right away. They're like, oh my God, I am so much better than all my teammates. I'm so much better than my competition. and I'm just rolling through people. And that's how it happens. I mean, you just keep showing up when you're not seeing any progress. And eventually, you just get that momentum going because half the people aren't working. But the thing is, you're trying to catch people above you, right? You're trying to catch the people above you, not the people that were on your level. You're going to pass them just by putting in a little bit extra. But to catch the people ahead of you, you need to start adding more stuff. And this is where I usually get everybody, because I'm going to do the little bit extra each week. Each day, I'm going to do the extra work that no one else is willing to do. The stuff that everybody else isn't willing to do, I'm going to do it, because I know, guess what? That's how I'm going to catch you. So first thing I would do is, hey, we said we're only going to run maybe 2-3 times a week. Well, guess what? I'm going to add that 4th day to begin. I'm going to start out the 3 days, 2-3 days, and then probably do that for 2 weeks. And then I'm going to add another day, another couple miles, go through another day, go through another couple weeks. Guess what? I'm going to add that 5th day. And eventually I'm going to be probably running 7 days a week. I'm going to be at the gym lifting, probably bare minimum of 4, get it up to that 5th day. Technique, probably almost every day, working on something like that each day, of working on something with my technique in any sport. I'm going to try to get better. I'm going to go to as many competitions as I can during the off season to get better. I mean, I had this one kid who had over 100 and some matches during the off season one year. So you're looking at that 1 year, that one off season, he had over 100 and some matches. That was like 3 or 4 off seasons, or 3 or 4 seasons right there, that he just gained on everybody else in that one off season. And that was the reason why he started having so much success, was because he was willing to make the sacrifices, put in the extra work that nobody else was willing to do, and he was able to catch people that were ahead of him. And that's how you do it. It's not, hey, I'm going to do the bare minimum and I'm expecting to catch these other people ahead of me, because it'll never happen. If you want to catch the people ahead of you, you got to be willing to do what they're not willing to do. And that's showing up more and doing more every day than what they're willing to do. And you'll eventually catch them, especially if you follow this system of consistency and intensity. Like, you'll listen to a lot of people, they'll just tell you, hey, just be consistent. Just be consistent. Well, yeah, consistency will beat intensity if you only show up twice a week. Of course, you're going to get better if you show up every day and do it. But then when you start having a purpose behind it and being intense about every workout you do, where you leave everything you have there. So you're going to go do every workout, every training session, everything you do on that action plan with the purpose. There's an intensity behind it where you leave everything you have. Like, everything you have is just left there in that workout or that training session. Everything you have is just left there. By the time you leave there, you're going to feel just that much better. And I know it's hard. Trust me. I know it's very, very hard to stay motivated through this, because there's a lot of times you don't see anything. You won't see any progress whatsoever. I know that. I've been through it in my own life with overcoming a lot of things. And I'll start sharing some stories here as we get a little further along, as I have some more guests on that kind of can relate to some of the stuff I've been through in my life that showed me that this is the way to do it. And like the things my coaches taught me growing up with that intense work ethic that you slowly keep adding on, doing the things other people aren't willing to do, how much it works. I mean, because I've shared it with a lot of kids and I've watched them have success. I mean, so I know it works, and I'm watching the program that I came from still have success because they're doing the exact same thing they've been doing. And that was my philosophy that I took to other places. And that was why I was successful with it, because it was the same philosophy that I learned. So always remember, start out small, but keep adding on each week. I mean, follow an action plan. Build that action plan up. And remember, consistency is always going to beat motivation, and discipline, you must be disciplined. I mean, there's going to be days you don't feel like doing it, but you got to do it. That dream was planted in your heart for a reason. Other people aren't going to believe in it at times, but you have to just chase it. Chase it down like your life depends on it, because it does. And remember, the only way to get what you want is to go through the fire.